I don't think I'm comfortable assigning rice the same status as bread. Like, I can't spread mayonnaise on a palm full of rice.
All right, well, we're kicking off our first episode of Sandwich Talk. Adam Rellis,
Hi.
sandwich enthusiast and connoisseur, and myself, Taylor. And we're gonna talk sandwiches today. Keep it light, keep it informal, but I think we're gonna really touch on some important topics.
Yeah, I mean, sandwiches is the main theme, but then we'll also touch on, politics, religion, sports, sex, pop culture, music.
All the things that commonly are tied with sandwiches.
Right.
All right, looking forward to it. So I think first, the thing I'm going to ask a question, what I'm most interested in is why sandwiches? Why is sandwiches a thing for you?
Well, I love sandwiches, but I've read several Wikipedia articles on sandwiches, and also the Earl of Sandwich, who invented the sandwich.
Yes.
And so I know a lot about sandwiches, and I also I regularly eat sandwiches as well, which I have a lot of experience with sandwiches.
So let me ask you a question. Do you think we are in, like, looking at the kind of state of affairs of sandwiches today, are we in a golden age of sandwiches? Or a creative rut?
I think we're in a golden age of food and in general. And as far as sandwiches go, I think, I would say that there are multiple eras. There's kind of like the cold meat and cheese on bread era. Maybe like you remember that from like your childhood. I want to say that, I don't know, like what were you getting in your school lunch?
No, that's actually really interesting. Like when you're younger, you don't eat a lot of hot sandwiches.
Yeah.
That's really interesting.
Well, because you got to pack your bag, take it to school, and then you're not going to like do a chicken parm hero.
Yeah. Yes.
So I think there's like that side of it. I want to say that there's kind of like the fast food era of like sandwiches, which I would break down into a couple of categories. Like if you consider the burger to be a sandwich, which we can talk about, like there's that side of it, and then there's kind of like this like Quiznos, Subway, fast foodification of the sandwich era, which had its popularity. And now I would say there's, like the foodie revolution on sandwiches, and like the idea that you can take amazing ingredients, combine them together with the right type of bread and the right sauces, and like, sort of the amazing sandwich.
Okay, so you mentioned the hamburger. Hamburger a sandwich for you?
I think I consider it a sandwich.
I agree. I think that where there is probably a debate is what is a sandwich? Define sandwich.
I think it's a very personal thing. I have strong opinions on it. To me, I think wraps are not sandwiches.
Okay.
I think things that are included on buns are sandwiches.
Okay. Let me ask you, hot dog.
I consider that a sandwich.
Okay. See, I personally think hot dog is of the taco variety.
Taco, I would consider more of a wrap.
Is a burrito taco family?
I would consider burrito more
wrap
taco
family.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean that's more wrap family. I think.
Because I feel like so I would define a sandwich as two separated, not connecting pieces of bread-like material.
Okay.
And then the filling actually does not have to be meat, although the purists would say it probably should be.
Let me ask you this. Is a lobster roll a sandwich?
That is a great question.
If a lobster roll is a sandwich, then I think a hot dog is a sandwich.
So here's what I would have said. It is a sandwich, but you know what I think?
I've talked you out of it.
You've talked me out of that being a sandwich. It's a distant cousin of the hot dog and the taco.
Okay.
Here, how's this? Open face sandwiches. Is that a thing? or by its definition, no longer a sandwich?
It is a thing, but I don't consider it a sandwich.
Right. No, it's no longer
It's
a sandwich.
like I would consider it its own category, like wraps, or like
yes,
or like stuffed. You know, like the
calzone,
empanada, calzone, pierogi family, familius pierogus.
Do you remember everyone remembers their first time. Do you remember your first, it doesn't necessarily be either the first sandwich or the first sandwich that you had where you were like, yes, sandwiches, they're for me.
I would say that growing up, I went to school with like a packed lunch every day, and like every day I had a sandwich, and it was like corned beef sometimes, and it was like egg salad or tuna salad sometimes, and I had like a good rotation of sandwiches. Sometimes it was like on challah bread, and sometimes it was on rye bread, and I think I just like, feel like a nice familiarity. It brings back fond memories of lunchtime, cafeteria.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
So maybe that's what the sandwiches are, is more of a nostalgia, hanging on to the good parts of your childhood. Like maybe it's deeper than just
maybe there's some
a
nostalgia
sandwich.
there. Maybe it's more than just bread and meat. Or meat or some sort of filling between the bread.
We're really okay.
It could be. What about for you?
My mom used to make me cream cheese sandwiches.
Interesting.
Sometimes jelly. Cream cheese and jelly.
Not on a bagel.
Not on a bagel.
Is a bagel a sandwich?
A bagel can, bagel can be a sandwich.
Okay, I agree.
Yeah.
I think some people would disagree. So cream cheese on 2 slices of bread. Okay.
Cream cheese on 2 slices of bread. I don't know if I ever would like do that to my kids. Seems
right.
Kind of like a.
That's a little bit of a cop out.
Sandwich.
Yeah,
it's not. Yeah.
Your mom's like, "Oh, you're hungry."
Yeah.
All right, what do I got?
I think she just dipped it in the cream cheese and like wrapped it. She didn't even like spread it.
I mean, I got that too. I gotta say, like, so I mentioned the sandwiches that I went to school with, and like, once a week there was the like, all right, here's 2 slices of American cheese in between.
Yeah.
2 pieces of bread.
Yes.
Which is classic, but is also like, my mom is French also, so she would throw in this American cheese, but also put butter on each side of the bread.
I've done that.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's pretty good.
I like that.
Yeah.
Do you think Jews have more of a kinship with sandwiches than other cultures?
No.
You don't? Like,
No.
Like the delicatessen, like...
I think the delicatessen is like a special place, but I think the delicatessen is much more than sandwiches.
Yeah. The delicatessen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think each culture has their own sort of version of that.
There are some theories that the old rabbis actually invented the sandwich.
Really?
Yes. So it specifically invented the cured meats.
Oh.
And I don't totally know the story, and I can look it up, but the main concept is so it was a very common thing to bring animals in, slaughter them on certain holidays, and then the animal basically collected all the sins of the community.
Right.
And they slaughter it and that like frees everyone of their sins. They would then actually eat the animal that they slaughtered. And then the theory is that there were some holidays where it would be followed by a day of fasting. Right? So they'd slaughter the animal for some reason, but then they had to fast, so they didn't have time to cook and prepare and eat it. So they actually would cure it so that it would last past the fasting day. And then they would eat it, and they would actually use bread to handle it and whatever, and so that the Jews actually invented the sandwich.
That's interesting.
It's a theory.
I've not heard that.
Yes.
That's a new one for me, and I'm glad to know it.
So
and I will repeat it without actually checking the facts.
Yes, I think it's better. That's what I did. So take pride in knowing that you have a deeper connection to the sandwich than you've realized.
I also have to say, like, when it comes to other cultures or backgrounds or whatever, I was quick to say no, and I do think like the sandwich is a particular kind of food. I think there's like a kind of sandwich type food that fits in with each culture that I might not necessarily consider a sandwich. And like, like we talked about like pocket foods and an empanada is like a great example.
Sushi.
Sushi is
That's a sandwich. By definition, that's a sandwich.
Sushi is a sandwich.
It's a carb-like substance wrapped around meat.
I'm heavily disagreeing with you
Because
on that.
there's a full cycle. There's a full circuit. So, like, is it more burrito than sandwich? Or is it its? Or are you even saying sushi is its own?
Like, if you consider sushi a sandwich, then I think you also have to consider the rice ball a sandwich, which I don't think is true.
Oh, like the omasubi kind of. It's like a rice ball with meat in it.
Well, there's that, but then there's also like the like Italian version, the arancini, like,
yeah.
or like the risotto balls or whatever,
Yeah.
and like those usually have like a little something inside.
Okay.
I think you might have to consider a grape leaf a sandwich if it has ground lamb in it, and like I don't think I would be comfortable. I don't think I'm comfortable assigning.
The grape leaf is what really does it for you.
I don't think I'm comfortable assigning rice the same status as bread.
Okay. Because it's just grains. Like
Right,
at its
but
core, it's the same.
Like I can't spread mayonnaise on a palm full of rice.
Okay. So the measure is if I'm willing to eat it with mayonnaise, it at least is one of the boxes I want to be able to check.
Yeah, or like condiments or a sauce or something like you can't just like you're not gonna like, you know, slather the bun in or like the rice in something and then like
You've never spread anything with a knife onto rice.
I've never done that. No.
Yeah. Okay. Something to try.
I think it might be a wrap more like, right? Like like a hand roll or like a sushi roll, like which is wrapped in seaweed is like a version of a wrap to some degree.
Yeah. Yes.
I think I would classify it more as that.
Okay. All right. Well, we touched on a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So
I think everything that we said though is true, and
Yeah.
that it holds true. This is now sandwich law.
Yes, exactly. So there's a lot of debate that has been around sandwiches, but I think we've put it to rest.
Yeah, there's
So-
bipartisan debate around sandwiches
Right,
that we've
we've-
now pushed
We've
through.
been gridlocked around
and-
sandwiches for
and
so
come
long.
to agreement on. So excellent. Before we go, can you thank me?
Yeah. So but it's our show.
No, I know, but I would like to close out with you thanking me and then me thanking you in return because I think that's how every show.
That's how
should
you.
close
Okay. Well, Adam, I want to thank you for joining today and your contribution to the discussion.
out. Thank you.
You kind of said that like
Too sarcastic.
or like a screw you kind of.
Okay, hang on. Let me try it again.
Thank you.
Let me try it again.
Okay.
Thank you.
That was nice.
All right.
Okay. All right.
Let's-
Thanks.
No, thank you.